At 19 years old, I got everything taken away from me. My phone, my hair, my freedom, my schedule, and my identity. I got conscripted to the Finnish military service, and overnight I went from being a founder to being just a number and a uniform going through a big machine. And although I didn't know it at the time, this was the best thing that could have happened to me. That year built the foundation for everything. The business success I've had so far, the freedom, the health, the relationships, the consistency, it all traces back to that time and the things I learned from the army. However, you don't have to serve a day in your life for any of this to apply to you. These 7 lessons can help anyone build a better life. So make sure you stick until the end of the video, because the last lesson is my personal favorite and it ties everything else together. In the military, there's rules for almost everything. When you wake up, how you fold your clothes, how do you speak, how do you sit, how do you walk. You barely have to make any decisions. At first, I hated it. It was super difficult and I felt like I was losing my mind. However, over a long period of time, something surprising came up. And that was that I had no anxiety. All of it was gone. When you're not constantly making little micro decisions about what to wear, what to eat, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter that much. There's a reason why minimalism works. You have actually much more clarity and space for the things that matter to you. I grew up in the suburbs playing sports, and most of the people around me were pretty similar. They were from the similar backgrounds, same worldview, same ambitions, and honestly I thought that I was on the right track. Then military put me in a room with people I would have never otherwise hang out with. They were people from rural Finland with different values, different ways of seeing the world. First I thought that I was better, or my worldview was somehow better than theirs, but then I realized that it's just different, and being around them pulled me out of my own bubble. It offered me perspective to see the world from their eyes. Here's what most people don't realize though. If everyone around you thinks like you, they have the same ambitions, they have the same worldview, you're probably not growing as much as you could. No one's giving you a different perspective, no one's giving you another way of seeing life. And you can go years, maybe your whole life, without really questioning who you are or how you see the world. But you don't have to join the military in order to experience this. Travel somewhere unfamiliar, start a new hobby, spend time with people outside of your usual bubble. Different ages, different backgrounds, different priorities. Honestly, the more different, the better. In the military, everyone knows exactly where they stand, who leads, who follows, who makes the decisions. And what I noticed was there was zero trauma. No politics, no passive aggression, no who's in charge here. There's absolute clarity. Most teams aren't like that, and most relationships aren't like that. Think about your own life. Go to your most stressed out relationship right now, whether it's a team member, friend, or a partner, and ask yourself, have we actually clearly communicated what we expect from ourselves and each other? What I've found out is that tension is rarely about the person, it's more about the expectations that were never made clear in the first place. In this case, one clear, honest conversation fixes months and even years worth of frustration. For a lot of people, military is the first genuinely hard thing they've done. Not uncomfortable, but actually hard. The kind of hard where you genuinely don't know if you're gonna make it through. And when you do, something changes. I remember one time they woke us up in the middle of the night and gave us 20 minutes to pack all of our battle gear. Not long after that, we were on a bus getting dropped off in the middle of nowhere. Little did we know that it was the start of a 3-day survival camp. We were in a constant state of uncertainty. Exhausted, we moved through the forest, carrying our tents, our gear, and everything else we needed with us. We couldn't make any fires, couldn't make any light, and we were constantly looking for enemies. By day 2, we all had huge blisters on our feet, our legs were exhausted, and at one point I remember being so tired that I started hallucinating and seeing things in the forest where there really wasn't anything. It was a proper wartime simulation and we did so well. Sure, a few people from the group quit because of their injuries or because their mind couldn't take it anymore, but the ones who didn't actually went through something challenging. That kind of experience does something that no book or podcast can do. It proves to you from direct experience that you're more capable than you thought. Now, most people live comfortably within what they think are their limits. Not necessarily because they're lazy, but because they've never really been tested enough. They don't know where those limits actually are. So My question to you is, what's the hardest thing you've ever done? And based on that answer, you'll know whether you've explored your real limits or not. I walked into military as an entrepreneur. I had traveled the world. Back home, I had my friends and I was respected. But in the military, no one cared. I was just a number in a uniform, same as everyone else. At first, it was difficult, but later something unexpected happened. I felt free. Because when no one knows what you've built or how much money you're making or how many followers you might have, you stop performing and you stop protecting an image. And that was honestly such a relief, both for myself, but I'm sure for many other people, no matter the background. Most of us carry an invisible weight by having to be seen a certain way by our peers, our audience, our family. And that weight controls more of our decisions that we'd like to admit. It shapes the people around us, the clothes we wear, and how we're supposed to be acting. And when that's gone, even for a moment, you realize how much time and energy you're spending to keep this facade up. Put yourself in scenarios where nobody knows who you are, where you're just able to be a person again. Maybe you can try out a new hobby, travel to a new place, and experience world without any of your past conditioning or any of the labels you've put on yourself in the past, whether they're good or bad. This will show you exactly how much of your confidence is real, how much of it comes from the inside compared to the outside validation. But remember, there is a difference between ego and confidence. The last lesson is where it all clicked for me. One of the first things you learn in the military is when someone messes up, everyone messes up. You're going through the same thing, you suffer together, and you depend on each other. I've built things alone, it's possible, but it's fragile, it's lonely, and you leave a lot on the table. Think about the people around you. Do those people actually know what you're working towards? And do you know what they're working towards? You don't have to be building the same thing, you don't even have to be business partners, but you just have to be genuinely invested in each other, knowing what matters to them, checking in, offering your support. That's what separates a real circle from just people you happen to spend time with. Towards the end of my service in the Navy, I started a leadership training, and it brought together some of the best minds of the generation. I walked in thinking that I was somebody. I had built companies, I was athletic, I was capable. I thought that somehow I was ahead of the curve. But then I looked around the room. Every single person there was sharp, capable, impressive in their own way. I remember sitting there and thinking I would follow all of these to the war if it came to it. Not because I had to, but because they had genuinely earned it. That was the moment I understood what real improvement looks like. It's not thinking that you're the best in the room. It's being in a room full of people who push you to be better in every single way. You get better just by being around them. So find those rooms for yourself and spend as much time in them as possible. Military taught me standards, discipline, perspective, and resilience. And honestly, I'm so grateful for the year I had and the people I got to spend it with. But as said, you don't need to serve a day in your life for these lessons to apply to you. If you apply even 2 or 3 of these principles, you're already ahead of most people. Not just in business, but in life. So I'm cheering for you and see you in the next video.